Hey guys, welcome to the shop. This is definitely going to be a talking video and a little bit more of a technical explanation on how much barrels actually can move during machining and my theories on why. Now, this particular rifle barrel came in from a YouTube viewer. It's part of a larger project I'm doing, and this was a change order. Now, I've never seen a barrel do this, and I don't ever expect to see a barrel do this again. Normally, the most I'll see things move is 10 to 15 thousandths of an inch, and that's generally considered a tremendous amount of movement. This appears to have actually bent and bananaed close to 60 thousandths of an inch. I'm frankly flabbergasted. I was completely speechless when I actually told this guy what was going on. And I am partially comping this job because this happened overnight. I had machined this rifle, or machined this barrel. I had test fired it and everything was fine. And overnight, I just looked at it and I swear to God, it moved enough that like something felt wrong. So I started looking down the bore, and there's a tight spot I've actually marked in Sharpie. And if you watch my indicator moving, that's a 1/16 of an inch. That's absolutely insane. And it bowed. The closer I get to each end, the less that movement is. Can I swing this without hitting my indicator? No, I can't swing those without hitting my indicator. But, you know, if I crank all the way over to this other end, you'll see the closer I get to the end, the less run out I have. And this, as you see on the surface finish, hasn't been fully cleaned up. You know, I'm going to have zero run out there because it fully cleaned up, but this is an unmachined surface on the end. And you'll see I've got a little run out, but you know, some of that is to be expected because I'm using a different center. I'm not using a, you give that a little bit more preload. I think that could have been part of my issue. When I tested this off camera, I was getting 2 thousandths of run out. Yeah, so that, we're gonna have to play with my preload on this because that's an issue in the bearings where I think just barely kissing it. Let's see what I get. About 4 thousandths. Now I'm wondering, yeah, just about 3. So, you know, I'm wondering if there's just a speck of dirt on there I'm not seeing. I do see some schmutz. Put my finger here and see if this changes anything. Yeah, so, you know, more run out than I'd like to see, but again, that can be an issue with the center, which this is not my good center. It's not the one I use for barrel work. I'm specifically using this one in this application just because I like to protect the point of my much better centers. This is kind of a rough and ready. But as you can see, again, the run out gets less and less as we move to each end of the barrel, and that's really purely because the damn thing moved. Now, this was a World War II surplus, either P-17 or 1903 Enfield barrel. All I could see is an 1144 on it, on the muzzle and a flaming bomb. So, generally speaking, older barrels are not stress relieved as effectively, and tolerances on gun drilling aren't as good. My specific theory on this is when I first put it on the centers using a Crown Savers, I had 15 or 20 thousandths of run out, which normally on barrels I machine and reinstall like that, I would typically see, you know, 1 to 3 thousandths, which again is really a function of how good your centers are. I don't have the best quality centers, so using this center, I always get more run out than, again, my good center I normally use for barrel work. And on a dead center, you'll have even less run out because you just have to have clearances for these bearings to turn in here so they're not perfect. And I think what actually we can do is just, I'm going to put the indicator right on that and see how much run out the center has. So we're down 1. So about 1,000th of that run out is just my center, which is to be expected. With less expensive live centers, that's what you see. My good center is about 3/10, 3/10,000ths of an inch, I should say. So what am I getting at here? I think this was a combination of not being stress relieved, being questionably machined with the bore eccentric, but also the gun drilling wasn't straight. So when you look at this, hopefully you can see it on camera. If you're using a bigger screen, I'm filming on a cell phone, you'll see where I've marked where I had deflection in the bore, and opposite to that I'm cleaning up, but this wasn't touched. So the barrel bowed and partially collapsed inwards because this is becoming a tight spot now. And that's really rare to see that kind of deformation in a turned shaft, because in theory you're removing an equal amount of material off each side. Now, that's not the end of the world when we're looking at this here, just because, normally if a rifle barrel moves, it doesn't collapse the bore. It's not a big deal. This, because the walls were so uneven in thickness on each side, again, you see my absolutely abysmal surface finish on this. I really wasn't trying. I was turning pretty quick, actually, just to rough it out, knowing I would get a result like this. But seeing something like this does make me think that the bore was never straight inside of this, and it was always had a tremendous arch, and we always had a thin spot here. But I knocked about 1 pound of material off of this, maybe more, maybe closer to 19 ounces, give or take. So it doesn't surprise me that it moved after that. But normally, again, it probably had started moving during the machining, and it decided to really spring overnight, which seems kind of odd. I normally don't see that. Normally it's moving proportional with the amount of material removed. And I do kind of wonder if this barrel had been massively overheated at one point and it got hot on one side or the other, or it is, again, a combination of what I posited, where it was questionable machining. It wasn't done between accurate centers to begin with. The gun drilling was not even close to straight to cut the bore, and there was never any stress relieving process at any point. So I think that combination of factors led to this perfect storm of eccentricity. And it is really shocking to me because, again, I say this is really a once in a career oddity. Talking to guys who are in production work and have seen more barrels in a month than most gunsmiths will see in a career. I talked to one of my buddies and he's just like, yeah, I've never seen a barrel do that. The only time I've seen something close to that is when there was a bad bearing on a shaft when he was working at a job shop, and it really heated the shaft up. And when they started doing cuts to clean up the mess before spray welding it, the thing moved incredibly, and they wound up scrapping the part because at that point it really wasn't worth saving. And he said that's the closest time he's ever seen to something like this. And I'm flabbergasted. I really have never seen something this crazy. And you can even see here where I looked at it and I tried dressing it with a file, and that's before I realized there was a tight spot. It was currently on the lathe. I might take another spring pass and if I clean it up too much, you won't see that. But, I tried saving the barrel. I thought about straightening it. I thought about kind of cleaning it up, and there was no way to save it because there's a tight spot in the bore now. And I do worry about that barrel bursting and causing personal injury to customers, which is a really big deal. Something like this really can't leave my shop. It's going to live on the wall as just one of those professional curiosities you see. When you do enough barrels, you're going to see something. You're going to see some weird stuff, and this is one of those weird things where it's just I'm completely flabbergasted by this. I never thought it was possible for a barrel to move close to a 16th of an inch because of machining. I've seen it in really highly stressed aluminum before. I've never seen something like this in steel. I don't ever expect to see something like this again. I genuinely think this is a once in a career oddity, where this is going to become a conversation for as long as I'm in business. And the people I tell it to aren't going to believe me unless I can produce the barrel and chuck it up between centers and show them like this. I can't really explain how shocking this is to someone without a machining background, because stuff like this really just doesn't happen. It's when I was explaining this to the customer, I'm like, if I didn't have the part in front of me and I couldn't quantifiably inspect it between centers like this, I wouldn't believe it myself. It's really that wild that something like this happened. And I hope it's coming through in my voice. I do have a very flat affect, just how surprising this level of movement is, because I don't generally polish. And you can see from this is really just, I took a lathe file to it and some emery and then Scotch-Brite on it. And you can see that from the surface. And the Scotch-Brite wheels are not going to remove enough material to do this. I've seen this much out of round, and you can see the bend in it. I think what I'll do is let me actually get a square, and I'll stand the square up behind this to show you guys. Yeah, when you can see the bend in a rifle barrel turning it like this, that's when you know it's really bad. Really bad. Sorry, I gotta move the tripod. Sorry guys, this wasn't that well planned. Oh, of course there's a chip on the bottom, and it's not sitting level. Oh, God, trials and tribulations of trying to film on YouTube in one take. So let's get you guys down nice and level. And I can't, I gotta drop the tripod some more. So this really is utterly insane. This is how I'm gonna end the video. It is unfathomable to me that this barrel is moving so much. You can see the bend in it. That is 110% stress. But that is freaking crazy. So, actually, I'll definitely put a note in it where if you don't believe me how badly this barrel is bent, stay to the end, because I can see it moving. Again, those lines are, that's an 1/8 of an inch line, so it's moving about half that line. When I look at it head on, a little more, I'm moving 1/16 of an inch. That's incredible. I've never seen a rifle barrel bend this much.